Hello everyone, this is Anisha Sharma and this video is based on the exemptions which is provided under the Income Tax Act of India. Basically, the reliefs that is provided by the Income Tax Act are of three types. First is exemptions, second is deductions, and third is rebate. Exemptions are provided under Section 10 of the Income Tax Act and they are claimed on the base of the source of the income, that is from the source from where the income is generated, that will decide whether the amount would be exempted from the Income Tax Act or not. These incomes are not added in the total income of a person. Second is deduction. Deduction is mentioned under chapter 6A of the Income Tax Act. They are first added in the total income of a person and then they are reduced from there. They are claimed on the basis of the payment and investment made. That is, after earning an income, from where are you spending that income, where are you allocating that income, that will decide whether you are eligible for the deductions under the Income Tax Act or not. There are different heads made under the Income Tax Act and they will decide whether you will get the deduction or not. Then is rebate. So rebate is a percentage amount which is reduced from the total income of a person. Now, talking about exemptions, exemptions are mentioned under Section 10 of the Income Tax Act. The first exemption that the Income Tax Act provides is agricultural income. So, agricultural income is a wide concept and it just don't include the income that is earned from the buying and selling of crops. It is a wide ambit and along with that it includes example rent that is generated from an land which is used for agricultural purpose, or if there is a subtenant, that is, for example, A has given a land to B on rent and B further gives that land to rent to C. If C is using that piece of land for the agricultural purpose, that piece of income will also be exempted and it will be included under the concept of agricultural income. So, it is clear that agricultural income includes rent and subtenant incomes also. Also, it includes any activity which is used to render the product fit for the use in market. Any activity which is done to make a product fit to use in the market will be included here. It includes basic activities and subsequent activities. Basic activities are activities like plowing of the soil or sowing of the seeds, tilling of the land, etc. Subsequent activities are those activities which are done after the crop is ready. For example, drying the crop or cleaning the crop for sale in the market. All these activities will be included under the wide head of agricultural income. Now, to claim relief to claim exemption under the agricultural income, the product must be sold in raw form. That is, it should not be processed. If some crops like cotton, tea, tobacco, they require to be processed before they are consumed, before they are sold in the market. So these products, since they are processed, they consist of mixture of agricultural income and business income. So Rule 7 of the Income Tax Act talks about this mixed income. So here we will take the market value of agricultural product and that part will be the exemption given. Under Rule 7A, manufacturing of rubber is exempted. It says that 35% of the profit is taxable and 65% is exempted. So not all of the manufacturing is exempted, a part of it is exempted and a part of it is taxable. Rule 7B of the Income Tax Act talks about manufacturing of coffee. Here 25% is taxable and 75% is exempted. Rule 8 talks about tea. Here 40% is taxable and 60% is exempted. For the case where there is agricultural and non-agricultural income both, two conditions must be fulfilled in order to claim exemption. First, the net agricultural income should be more than 5,000 rupees per annum, and second, the non-agricultural income should be greater than the max amount not chargeable, that is in case of individual 2,50,000, in case of senior citizen 3 lakh, and in case of very senior citizen it is 5 lakh. The list given in under section 10 is a very long list and it includes approx 65 items which are non-taxable. For example, amount received by a member of HUF from income of the HUF, share of profit received by a partner from the firm. Since this is already taxed, the income of HUF and the income of partnership firm have already been taxed, the income received by its members is not taxed here. Also, the income of any notified saving certificate or LTC that is claimed by the employees, these and etc., these 65 incomes are non-taxable under the Income Tax Act. Thank you.